A priest friend of mine, Father Tom Dora, he always writes a Christmas letter. And his Christmas letters are rather profound. And this year, he mentioned a theme that he was thinking and praying about. That is, behold God beholding you. Basically, what does God see when God looks at us? How does he look at us? With condemnation? With judgment? No. Always God looks at us with love. We are his creation. We are his sons and daughters. And we're never outside the love of God and his regard for us. Remember the scriptures. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. John 3:16, God so loved the world that he sent his only Son. And St. Paul says we were made little less than the angels. And so God always sees us very clearly and sees us with love and with care. And so maybe we come together this morning as we read this gospel to ask the Lord to make me look at others as kindly as he looks at me. God sees us from the inside, knows us inside out. We are made in God's image and likeness. He looks at us with generosity and with compassion. He doesn't despise us or expel us for our shortcomings and our failings. Always God looks at his people with mercy. It is our weakness then to judge others without recognizing our own faults, as the gospel today would tell us. And so we pray this morning, Lord, make me look at other people as kindly as you look at me. Jesus never denies that we have sins and failings. And he says today that we have to look at our blind spots first. Remember the line in the Our Father, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Oftentimes we are tempted to guide and correct other people. It gives us a little bit of status, and we're quick to see the faults in other people. We might look around our society and condemn groups of people. Politicians, those guys are idiots. My boss, idiot. The neighbor next door, idiots, all of them. The pastor, best guy ever. All the other pastors are idiots. The list goes on. So we're called to a conversion of heart. Lord, make me more aware of my sins so that I can be gentle and compassionate in dealing with other people. So yes, we are tempted to look for splinters, logs, trees in other people's eyes. Perhaps we need to go to the other side of it as well. What is worthy of praise and blessing in another person? For us, the challenge then is to be positive as we look toward other people. And we look around our world, and yes, there are problems, but there are so many other wonderful and good things that are happening. And it's so easy to lob the grenades of criticism and complaint and just general venom toward other people. But we're also called to be people of joy. What gives us joy? What has been good for us? What blessings do we have? And count those each and every day. Sister Dorothy Follier, you would probably not know her. She was a professor at the University of St. Mary of Light, Mundelein Seminary. And she was an older lady and she got sick and had to go to the hospital. And so one of the faculty members said, oh yeah, I'm going to go visit her. I'm not quite sure how it's going to be though, because I've never visited a sister before, as if there's some great difference when they're in the hospital. But anyway, off he goes and comes back and said, Sister Dorothy was amazing. She's lying there in a hospital bed, a very sick lady, but she said, you know, I'm here and I'm thinking of all the wonderful things that are going on in my life. And this particular person reported that if I were in her situation, I would be a basket case. But here's Dorothy Follier with a great deal of joy and thanksgiving in her life, even as she's going through an illness. St. Paul says, always be ready to share your reason for hope. And we are called each and every day to take that splinter, that beam out of our eye and see the joy, see the wonder and the blessing that this world can be. Jesus certainly had clarity of vision. And he invited other people to accept that vision. The Pharisees, the Sadducees, however, they didn't want to see it. But there were others who were invited, like the 12 disciples. Bartimaeus, sitting on the side of the road, saying, "Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me." He's cured of his blindness and joins Jesus on the path. Paul also was called and accepted that word, and it changed the world. So we come to this church today, we come before Jesus today, and we ask him to let us see. We ask him also to see us clearly and honestly, but also with mercy. We ask the Lord to remove any speck or plank that may be in our eyes. Our sight is not always the best. Maybe my view of myself and the world may need correction. And so we ask, Jesus, clarify my vision to see you always more clearly.